All right, guys, so here we go. This is obviously a completely different type of video for me, but I think I'm probably just going to start a second channel, and I'm going to do moto vlogs of me riding. I've been watching a ton of them the last month or two leading up to me buying this bike, and I've looked at so many different bikes, and so I'm going to get into what the bike is and why I bought it and why I didn't buy other bikes, to be honest with you. So this is just going to be different points of different clips of me riding to the gym. Actually is what I'm doing. I left my house about 5:30 in the afternoon, went and worked out for about an hour and a half, and then rode home. It was cold at times. I had long johns on, and then my jeans and my Cujo shoes on with a pair of socks, and then a t-shirt, a thick hooded sweatshirt, and then my Milwaukee jacket, the heated one, but I never turned the heat on, and then my leather gloves. They're not completely leather because they're leather for the protection in case you end up sliding across the ground, but they're also breathable, so they're not completely leather, so they definitely do let some cold air in. There's a few times I was right around 65 to 68 miles an hour, but for most of it I was right around 55 or so. A lot of the speed limits on these roads I'm on is anywhere from 40 to 55. None of them are above 55, and as a matter of fact, this stretch I'm on right here is 55 until I get right about this section where it turns into 45, and I believe it's either 45 or 40 on this road. I can't remember, but anyway. So what this is, a 2021 Benelli TNT 135. The closest thing I can compare it to that most people will know is a Honda Grom. The Honda Grom is a 125. This Benelli is a 135. So a little bit bigger engine. It sits up a couple inches higher than a Grom, and it's about 1.5 inches to 2 inches longer in length wheelbase than the Grom. I went with this just because it is a little bit bigger. I've spent a lot of time on a Grom, and I really like the Grom a lot, but this was a demo unit, so I bought it used with some miles on it, but I got a really, really good deal from the dealership. I bought this green one here for me, and we got a red and white one with a little bit of black on it for Billy. So Billy has the same bike, which kind of leads me into why I bought these bikes instead of something bigger. So what Billy and I were looking at initially was I wanted a Yamaha R3. I found one I really liked at the dealer where we got these. It was called Electric Teal. That was the color of it. It was a badass bike. I really, really liked it. The R3 is only a 300, and the bike we were looking at for Billy was a Yamaha MT-03, and that's also a 300. The point is Billy and I have a lot of experience on dirt bikes. Neither one of us have any experience on street bikes. We've never driven them before. We've driven on the street a lot, illegally, with dirt bikes, but we've never actually been full-on riding on the street with an actual street motorcycle with street tires, riding in traffic, stuff like that. So I did the MSS, motorcycle safety course. I did the advanced course. It was just one day because I already had experience riding, and at the end of it you get a card which gets you a discount on your motorcycle insurance, and it also, you just take the card to the DMV, you pay $12, and you get your motorcycle endorsement, so you don't have to take a road test to the DMV. Billy does have his permit, so he's just going to ride with me, and I'm just going to put him through the paces of everything I learned at the course for the road test, and I'm going to probably just take him up and get him his road test. He'll pass it, no problem. He was already riding around on this bike yesterday. So why did we buy these bikes instead of the bigger ones? For that exact reason. We don't have the experience riding, and I told him, I said, you and I can more than handle a 135cc. These bikes, their top speed, I believe, is 70.2 miles an hour is the top speed. The highest I've gotten this bike up to is 68 miles an hour. Billy could hit that 70. He's a lot lighter than me. But these bikes are so light and easy to throw around. They're actually designed as a trick bike. Like the Grom, it's a trick bike. It's not designed to go fast. It's not designed to get up on the thruway and set land speed records. It's not what the bike is made for. We bought it for back and forth around town. Last year, from April 1st to the first week of December, I spent over $14,000 in gas between all the mowers, the trucks, everything else. So we bought them for bikes we can go out and have some fun on and go ride around and enjoy riding motorcycles, and also to commute back and forth to work, to the shop every day, and to go back and forth to the gym every day on them. Things like that. If we just need to run the store for something quick, we can go do that. We just take a book bag, like I'm wearing one right now because I'm going to the gym. But that kind of thing. And cut way back on that fuel we burned. Plus, Billy and I talked, and our feeling on the whole thing is, regardless of the experience we have on a dirt bike, it's still different being on the road. So I told him, I said, how about we take a year this summer and we spend a year riding these bikes. We'll get the fundamentals down, we'll get our confidence built up, we'll get used to riding in traffic, get used to riding on the road, things like that. We'll do a year on these little bikes that we feel very comfortable riding, and then next year we'll upgrade to something bigger, I'm sure. So he's in full agreement with that, and I just think it's the smarter, safer route to go. Everyone knows motorcycles are very dangerous, but they're not dangerous because the bike itself is dangerous. I mean, they are to an extent, but they're dangerous because people just don't look for bikes. Like I told Billy, and my mom is giving me the lecture on she's not happy that Billy and I got bikes, even though she grew up on bikes. But I told her, I said, I'm not scared of the bike. I'm not worried about my abilities, nothing like that. I know that Billy and I can both handle these bikes. My only concerns are I don't like people riding my ass, and is somebody pulling out in front of me. Those are my two biggest things, because people just don't look for bikes. They don't see us. My bike is neon green, and my helmet is a super bright neon green, so I'm very visible. Billy's is pure white. We both have jackets, Icon riding jackets that have all the plates in them, front and back, and the shoulders and the elbows. So we spent over $1,000 just on riding gear between the two of us. So we definitely did everything we could to make this as safe as we possibly can for us. We did it smart, I believe, with buying all the right gear. We spent, I think, $300 and something a piece just on our new helmets. So we did everything right as far as riding gear, and then I believe we made the right choice in starting on smaller bikes until we get this down. Like, for instance, right here, and you'll see it again, I pull up behind, when I'm at a light, pull up behind a vehicle, but I stay to one side. So you'll see that I keep going back and forth. I'm constantly checking all my surroundings. I'm constantly looking at my mirrors to see who's coming up. If someone's coming up behind me, they're not going to stop. I want to be able to take off. I don't want to be dead center behind a vehicle where I got to turn and go around. I want to just go. That's why every time I stop at a stop sign or a light, you'll see my left hand, you'll see me holding that clutch lever in, because I don't ever put the bike in neutral. I drop it back down to first gear, and I sit there with it in first gear and my hand on the clutch. That way, all I got to do, if I see someone coming up my mirror and they're coming up too fast, I can let that clutch out and go. And I don't have to shift into gear, nothing. Just stuff like that. So we're doing it as safely as we possibly can. Still definitely have a lot of fun with it. We haven't picked Billy's bike up yet. We're going to pick Billy's up soon, and then he'll be out riding with me every day. He can ride on his permit. I believe the way the law states in my area is that he just has to be within 1 mile of a licensed motorcycle, of a driver with a motorcycle license. I don't even have to be on another bike. I can be in the truck right behind him while he's on his bike in front of me. It's still perfectly legal. So he's just going to ride with me a lot until I feel that he's ready, and then I'm just going to take him. We're going to schedule his road test, and I'm going to take him up and get his road test done, and he will be good to go. But I'm just having a blast on this thing. I've only had the bike for a couple days. I've already put over 130 miles on it. Just riding it everywhere, going all over the place. I'm just loving it. It's like 40 degrees out today and yesterday, and when you're on that bike, it's more like 25 degrees, especially at 60 miles an hour. So definitely colder, and I can't wait till it warms up. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a riot. Billy and I are going to have so much fun. It was great to just ride this bike to the gym today, riding it in more traffic than I've been in so far. And it was just really cool. People waving to me. I actually, when I rode it yesterday, I passed 2 guys on Harleys, and I waved, the 2 fingers down to your left-hand side like everyone waves. People say there's, they have different meanings for that, but what it's supposed to stand for is 2 wheels down. So, just riding safely, and that's why you wave like that with your 2 fingers pointed down towards the ground. And people just look at me. I think it's because I'm a big guy and a smaller bike, but I passed 2 Harleys on the way up to the gym today, and one of them did the 2 fingers down and waved to me before I waved to him, and the other guy gave me a thumbs up. So, it is what it is. A lot of people told me, like, why don't you just buy a Harley? And I'm like, well, because I don't want to sit there at a stoplight or an intersection with my teeth rattling out of my damn head. Even when I do buy a bigger bike, it will not be a Harley. I'm not into cruisers. They're not my thing. I want sport bikes. So it will definitely be some type of bigger sport bike. So that's what I'll be going to, and I'm pretty positive that's what Billy's going to go to as well. Neither one of us are interested in cruisers. It's just not our thing. Maybe one day down the road, but it's just not it for us. We're not into them. We don't like them. We don't want nothing to do with them. We want sport bikes, and I don't even want the sport bike for the speed. I want the sport bike for the look. I like the way that they look. Like I said, I mentioned in the beginning that I originally looked at a 2022 Yamaha R3. See me standing up right there? That's what happens when you're riding down the road and you get a wedgie. But my original bike that I was looking at was a 2022 Yamaha R3 in electric teal was the color. So Google that bike and you'll see what I initially was looking at. I still really want that bike, but I have zero regrets about buying this bike. Like I said, I put over 100 miles on this bike so far in the last 2 days, and I absolutely love it. Even though I've been pretty damn cold at a couple different times, I absolutely love it. I'm having so much fun. I can literally just, not even turn the handlebars. I keep my legs against the tank, and I can just rock them left and right, and I can zigzag this bike all over the place, throw it around like it's nothing. I go around corners a couple times scraping the foot pegs. I'm leaning it over so much, and it just doesn't even feel like you're going to drop this bike. You can corner with it so much. It's great. But check this out here. The light was green. They had the right of way. Those 2 cars went. I'm out here just rolling, and this lady pulls up, stops, waves me to go. I thought that was pretty cool. Gave her a little wave. And then I just cruised in the parking lot here. A couple people are pulling out at the same time. I'm like, these 2 are going to run into each other. One of them stops. The other one goes. So I'm just sitting there waiting. I'm like, this guy's going to back up, and I can go through here. And then he's just like staring at me, not doing anything. So I decided to cut through the parking lot here and cruise right around these cars. This is the parking lot for my gym, and I just cruise on through, and I already know that there's no way I'm parking this little bike in a parking spot. So I did the same thing I've seen other bikes do when I've gone to the gym in the past, and cruised up through, and then I scooted right in and just park up on the sidewalk. But gonna do more videos. Like I said, I think I might create a different channel just for this kind of thing, and we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it, and I will be doing more. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of this kind of stuff on this channel.